Hello, everyone.
Vietnam Airlines has just placed an order for 50 Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft valued at $8.1 billion in Washington, D.C. Deliveries are expected between 2030 and 2032. The signing ceremony took place on February the 19th in the presence of General Secretary To Lum and a high-level Vietnamese delegation during their official visit to the United States. With this new order, Vietnam Airlines plans to expand its fleet to approximately 151 aircraft by 2030. The airline is prioritizing narrow-body aircraft to increase flight frequency, improve flexibility, and optimize operating costs. According to company representatives, this is a strategic move. It aims to modernize the fleet, enhance operational efficiency, and strengthen competitiveness in a new phase of growth. 50 aircraft is not just a number. It represents a long-term investment decision made at a time when the global aviation industry is undergoing major restructuring after the pandemic. So what does this deal mean? Economically, strategically, and in terms of bilateral trade relations? Let's examine it from an objective and purely economic perspective. Why the 737 MAX and why now? The 737 MAX 8 is a new generation narrow-body aircraft designed for short and medium-haul routes. It carries between 180 and 200 passengers. Its range is nearly 6,500 kilometers. This aircraft category forms the backbone of most airlines worldwide. Vietnam Airlines already operates Boeing 787 Dreamliners for long-haul international routes. Adding the 737 MAX completes a globally common fleet structure. Wide-body aircraft for long-haul routes, narrow-body aircraft for domestic and regional operations. This structure reduces operating costs and increases competitiveness. Importantly, the 737 MAX is 15 to 20% more fuel efficient than previous generations. Fuel is the largest cost component in aviation. Investing in newer aircraft is therefore a long-term risk management strategy. Looking at the broader context, the aviation industry is entering a rebalancing phase after the pandemic. Travel demand is recovering strongly. Fuel prices remain volatile. Environmental pressure is increasing. Regional competition is intensifying. Major airlines such as Singapore Airlines ANA and Thai Airways are modernizing their fleets. Without timely investment, airlines risk losing their competitive advantage over the next 5 to 10 years. This order of 50 aircraft can therefore be seen as preparation for a new growth cycle in Vietnam's aviation sector. Now let's consider bilateral trade. Commercial aircraft are among the United States' highest value exports. Large contracts like this contribute to trade diversification and balance between nations. Vietnam-US trade has grown significantly in recent years. Expanding cooperation in high-tech industries such as aviation reflects deeper economic integration. This is not simply a transaction. It signals stronger connections within the global supply chain. For Vietnam Airlines, the goal by 2030 is clear. Improve service standards, strengthen international positioning. To achieve this, the airline needs a modern fleet, better fuel efficiency, high technical reliability, and standardized maintenance and pilot training systems. Choosing a widely used aircraft like the 737 MAX provides access to global support networks, training systems, and maintenance infrastructure. This is a long-term strategic decision, not a short-term reaction. However, aircraft procurement is not only an internal aviation matter. In today's restructuring global trade environment, large contracts also reflect a broader trend. Economic diplomacy during supply chain realignment. In recent years, major economies have adjusted trade policies. They are strengthening supply chain resilience, prioritizing reliable partners, and diversifying sources. This makes strategically positioned countries increasingly important. Vietnam is widely recognized for its stability and integration capacity. Vietnam has consistently pursued a policy of multilateralization and diversification, cooperating with multiple major economic centers, not relying on a single market, maintaining long-term balance. The Boeing Agreement fits within that broader strategy, expanding high-tech cooperation alongside other trade relationships, a common approach for developing economies seeking to optimize national interests. Now, what about the long-term impact? Aviation contracts typically span 10 to 20 years. They involve maintenance, technical support, workforce training, supporting industries, and component supply chains. This is not simply an aircraft purchase. It is the establishment of long-term industrial cooperation. In a rapidly changing global trade environment, stability and predictability have tremendous value. From a balance perspective, it is important to emphasize one point. This is first and foremost an economic decision. A decision based on market demand, operational efficiency, and competitive strategy. The positive trade impact is a result, not necessarily the primary motive. Viewing the event this way allows for a calm and fact-based assessment. In conclusion, Vietnam Airlines' purchase of 50 Boeing 737 MAX aircraft represents more than fleet expansion. It reflects recovery, modernization, global integration, and long-term strategic balance. In a volatile world, long-term investment decisions like this demonstrate caution and strategic thinking. What do you think is more important in this deal? Operational efficiency or long-term trade impact? Share your perspective in the comments below. Goodbye and see you next time.